Dr. Dean claims that millions of extraterrestrial aliens live in the US in human form. They marry people and have a happy marriage. Have you ever wondered if any of your loved ones, friends, relatives, neighbors, your husband, wife, could be some kind of an alien or a hybrid extraterrestrial alien? This could also explain why some people behave strangely in different situations. It does not happen because they are crazy or alien, but because they are not able to react like humans naturally. Dr. John Joseph Dean has identified several thousand such cases during his career in the US government, is what he claims, as a biologist and pathologist with studies in psychology, but also as a has been trained in Area 51. And the now retired doctor believes he has come to say some things. Quote, because of my many qualities, I can understand from the sociology and anatomy of a man or a woman whether he is human or not. Statistically, around 4 to 5 million aliens should live in the US in human form, either because they choose it or because they were born that way. I can only assume that their total world population on Earth can exceed 60 to 70 million, he says. He explained, among other things, that most of them work normally, usually in companies that have each other. From vast plantations to cafes, many of them are doctors and therapists who, yes, keep up with Western science and the laws that govern it, but almost always treat patients with the touch of their hands or the whisper of words that reorganize and regenerate the human body. Still others use herbs that they have brought from their planet and grown on Earth. By the way, they are miraculous, especially in incurable diseases, he says. Quote, they do not seem to have a problem with people, to adapt to our habits and to our way of life. They do not have or do not use supernatural powers as we see in movies, but they have vast collective knowledge and conscience as well as empathy. Huge. I would dare say maybe this is the reason for their happy marriages with people, the doctor says. When asked about this, Dr. Dean says that his assessment is that, quote, they read their partner, end quote. They have the ability to enter their mind, but not to control it. In fact, they make sure that their partners learn to do this for themselves. That way, there is no secret or hidden thoughts. Quote, as far as I understand, they do not seem to have taboos and hidden puritanical tendencies. I'm going to tell you something that I'm sure will sound weird. Their codes of ethics are much, much more human than human, end quote. They asked him if married people knew that their husband was an alien. He replied that he had never asked such a thing, except that it would be indiscriminate, but you might endanger their relationship, but above all, you would risk leaking the program he was working on. Now he no longer cared. However, he replied that female and husbands tend to spot some signs in their extraterrestrial husband that they could easily come to this conclusion until they confirm it. Maybe some did. In contrast, male spouses do not seem to have this ability. They admire and love their alien female wife, but it never crosses their minds. Perhaps this is due to the prejudice, which still exists in many, that women are inferior to men. He went on to say that the vast majority of them, marriages between extraterrestrials and extraterrestrials have no children, they cannot do several differences. They usually adopt. However, there are families with one or more children who are human and have extraterrestrial blood flowing, as we would popularly say, and conversely, children who are extraterrestrial and have human blood flowing inside them. Immediately afterwards, Dr. Dean clarified, quote, I do not know if these children are as happy as their heterogeneous mixed parents, nor if they know or if they learn the truth, and if in the end they make a trip to the ancestral planet of their origin, end quote. Perhaps it's not so coincidental that there is a community of hybrid children which has developed and supported children hybrids from extraterrestrial parents to earthly humans. But that does not necessarily mean that they need psychological support. The opposite is probably the case. So if you have a happy marriage, maybe your spouse is an extraterrestrial alien and you didn't understand it, according to Dr. Dean. Stippling from intelligence gathering, witness confessions from people claiming to have come in contact with beings, extraterrestrial, in a single story. Elements adapted with creative thinking and imagination, inspired by the book Abduction, Human Encounters with Aliens by John E. Mack, Harvard psychiatrist, Alien Base, The Evidence for Extraterrestrial Colonization of Earth by Timothy Good. So this is obviously a fantasy. So, all right, let's have a little laugh. I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.